Whatever you do not buy the Mango Power E. My name is Ben, this is the Minuteman Solar YouTube channel, and for nearly a decade, I've been testing different solar generators. I've literally tested well over 100 different units. And once upon a time, the Power E from Mango was one of those units that I got to test. Now, originally when I got mine, they were actually working great. Zero issues at all. They had CATL or CATL batteries in them, which meant they had really high quality battery cells. The system was easy to use, had a telescoping handle, built-in wheels. It was still very heavy, but I could move it around by myself. It had 3 kilowatts of output power. It had over 3 kilowatt hours of battery. You could have one expansion battery per unit. You could put 2 units together to get split phase power. And I personally got 3,000 watts of solar input on that single unit, which is incredible because that means you could charge it in just over an hour off of solar. But that was until I kept using my units. I was doing my testing in my garage. I ran my garage refrigerator off of the Mango Power E. So I let it run for about 2 weeks. It was running on solar, had no grid connection, and it was just running my refrigerator, my freezer, my security system, Wi-Fi, just basic things in my garage so that I could test how long is it gonna run off grid running my basic items. Every night it would drain down a little bit, and every day it would recharge off of solar. And after about 2 weeks with my first units, I started having some major problems. But sometimes as a content creator, I am lucky enough to be able to get to test units before they're really on the market. And with that, that means sometimes I get buggy units. And I accept that. They're not always gonna have all the bugs worked out. So I contacted them and said, hey, I'm having this issue. I had an AC output failure was the first one, if I remember correctly. So they had me ship that one back and they sent me a new one. Started all over again with just running the things in my garage. And then just a couple days later, I had the exact same failure. So I went through the process again and had the system replaced and then got the new one. And guess what happened? This time I had a BMS output failure. At this point, my units were dead. So they sent another one to start the replacement process. I was up to 4 Mango Power E's and all 4 of them had died. And talking to their customer service, both on the phone and by email, they told me that my refrigerator killed the Mango. Keeping in mind that every other system that I've run, hundreds of them, not a single one of them failed by running the refrigerator. So that felt a little bit like gaslighting. I didn't appreciate that at all. And basically at that point, I put out a video saying, hey, there are issues with these. I have that video back in my log. But later on, I kept getting phone calls and emails from people saying, hey, I bought some mangoes, I'm having some issues and I can't get support. What can I do? They were reaching out to me because they couldn't get an answer from anybody else. So after dozens of these stories coming in, and after having 4 of my own units fail, and no longer getting any support from Mango, they would not respond to me, I ended up reaching out to someone that I know who has a very close contact with Mango, and I happened to be in Las Vegas at the CES event where the leadership or the owners, I don't know if they were owners or they were the C-suite of Mango were also there. I was able to sit down with them, have at least an hour-long discussion, if not longer, going over all of the issues and the concerns that I had. They assured me that that was a thing of the past and that they would send me new units and that everything would be okay. So a couple weeks later, I got some new Mango Power E's. I was excited. I'm gonna be honest, I was very hopeful that the system would work. I have zero ill will against Mango. It is not my intention to try to bring them down. My intention is to teach and help others understand what these systems can and cannot do. So very excitedly, I got everything running again, got the Mangos hooked up, got them connected to the expansion batteries, I connected solar to them, I started running my refrigerator, my freezer, I even ran my house. I used my interlock switch, I put the units in split phase, I ran power to my whole house, we watched TV, I worked at home, I did laundry, I ran my security, I ran my air conditioning, everything like I would do with any other system that I test. And wouldn't you know it, they died again. This time, rather than me sending a unit back and then sending a new one, they just sent me a new one. So I continued doing all of my testing. Keep in mind, I'm doing all of this for free. Dozens and dozens of hours dedicated to testing this equipment without ever being paid a penny, just so that I could see how good the system would work, so that I could bring that information to you guys. If you appreciate that, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe. But guess what happened with the 6th unit? It died. Now luckily, because I had a meeting with the top level people at Mango in Las Vegas, I got all of their information. So now I had a direct path to the top. I called them, specifically said, this is not working. I'm returning these units to you. I'm done. But then you're probably asking, why on earth am I talking about this now? First of all, I should have posted this earlier. Second, I got contacted by Mango recently asking me to promote their Power E's. I cannot do that in good conscience because of so many problems that they're having. And ironically, I had multiple people, but particularly one person who lives close to me who had a failure of their Mango Power E in the exact same fashion that I did. Through a friend of a friend of a friend, they got my information, reached out to me, and begged for a system that could replace that because they were tired of having issues. What that person was told was that Mango no longer had access to their units because they had not been able to pay the rent on the warehouse for where the Mango units are being stored. And because they're having an issue with their unit, it would not be replaced until they got the warehouse worked out. You may have seen my other video about Point Zero Energy and how they went out of business. In my opinion, this is a key indicator of how Mango may be going out of business. If a company's not able to pay the rent on the warehouse where the equipment is in order to support their customers that have already paid, that's a red flag. Now, I will say, I have personally used their 400-watt folding solar panel, and of the folding solar panels on the market, that one's my favorite. It includes a little stand that you can fold out, so that way you can prop them up. Then you don't have to go home and make your own stand like what many people are doing. But the issue is, folding solar panels are good for maybe a maximum of 2 years of constant use. That's one of the reasons why I invented my portable solar panel stand. That way you can take any affordable framed solar panel, one that has a rigid frame around it, you can attach the legs to it, and now you have a non-folding portable solar panel that's less than half the cost of a folding solar panel. I'll have information down below if you want to see that as well. But the real issue is I've had so many people reach out about this problem. I knew I needed to make this video. Now, some people have literally called me a liar on this subject, but this video shows only some of the clips that I've taken with the issues that I've had with my different Mangos. It stands for itself. If any other system was having similar issues, I would also share it with you and I would not hide it. I've made videos about EcoFlow with having issues with their units and Bluetti. There are many units that have issues, and that's why I do this channel, is to help share that information with you. So I would be remiss if I didn't share this. I just want to give you a warning that I would personally never buy a Mango Power E system. Although if they do have their solar panels available and you need folding solar panels, then that's a great option. Otherwise, just use the portable panel stands and save 50% of the cost. Now, if you bought a Mango, one of the most helpful things you can do right now is comment down below if yours has been good or bad. What has your experience been with the customer service? Have you gotten the support that you needed? I know that there are many forums out there that are reporting issues, but many people don't know where to find those forums. So please leave your honest opinion in the comments down below. This is a hard video to make, but the point is we need to make people aware of these issues, and as well equally aware when there's a good system. As a quick comparison, the E3600 LFP from Pecron is just under $1,300, has a larger inverter, same battery capacity, and the same rated solar input as the Mango Power E, but you get the option to add 4 expansion batteries as well as 2 units together to get split phase power. So not only is it cheaper, I've had 0 issues with mine, it has more expandability, and so much more that you can see on the free solar generator comparison chart, which I'll also have in the description down below. See how all of the units stack against each other, so that way you can decide which one is the best for you. If you want help with that, shoot me an email to info@poweredportablesolar.com, which will soon be info@minutemansolar.com. If you want to get systems that have been vetted and come with all of the parts that you need to get up and running, you can check out the website as well and see what kits are there and available. And lastly, you can watch this video if you want to see how the portable solar panel stands work in real life.